Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab.
Welcome to episode 19. Croque Madame, don't mind if I do. I'm Julie.
And I'm Amy.
This week we are talking about the breakfast at Be Our Guest. But first, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish?
Let's dish. Item 1. Item 1.
Item wom.
Item 1. That's some swell coffee. In honor of Mickey's 90th birthday, another Disney partner, Joffrey's Coffee, has created a special 90th anniversary coffee blend featuring a then and now style labeling.
Laboring?
Where are you? A then and now style label featuring a split Mickey Mouse, half of him Steamboat Willie, and the other half a modern Mickey Mouse.
So cool.
Very cool. It's going to be a medium roast.
Because it's half light and half dark roast. Haha, but
It's going to be a medium roast and is designed to appeal to a wide variety of coffee drinkers. So you'll probably like it. It's currently available in parks to purchase, like bags of it, and at Disney Springs, as well as on the Joffrey's website in their Disney section. Item 1.5. I discovered while looking into the coffee that you can get a digitally printed latte art at the Joffrey's location in Disney Springs. Among other things, you can get Mickey Mouse printed on your latte foam. And this is an all-the-time thing, not just special for the 90th. Now, since I've finished writing this, I also learned that you can download an app on your phone that allows you to upload to them any picture. Like the image they showed were like two couples, like a couple here and a couple there, and they digitally print it onto your coffee. So yes, we'll be getting a One Little Spice and a Figment latte and us, and just like we're just gonna drink a lot of coffee that day because we want to get
so excited.
So it does, at least uploading your own photo does cost an extra 50 cents.
Oh shucks.
I don't know. But it's kind of cool and really exciting.
So we are definitely doing that, and once we do, we will give you all the details on how to do it.
Item 2. Walt Disney World has started to phase out single-use plastic straws and lids in the parks recently. And a few table service restaurants like Kona at the Polynesian, we're going to talk about Kona later in this month, so be on the lookout for that, have moved to plastic straws upon request only. So if you need a plastic straw for some reason, you can still get one. They just won't be bringing them to the table unless you ask. The plastic straw issue gets people very heated, so we aren't going to go into that. But I think having them available if you really need them is a good compromise. Other restaurants, such as Cape May, are expected to join the practice soon. And it should be noted that currently all children's beverages are still coming with plastic straws. Disneyland is also in process of eliminating single-use plastic straws and lids in its parks as well, again with them being available upon request only.
Animal Kingdom has only paper straws.
That is true.
And has since inception.
Correct. Item 3, a great loss for me personally. They have taken the vegetable curry pods off the menu at Satuli Canteen.
Oh, that's so sad.
I will never understand why these...
Maybe people were really sick of being turned into Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, I think
they could have just taken off the turmeric
from the top of the bun. Inside is fine. Top of the bun was particularly issuey. I will never understand why they didn't catch on, because they were amazing, and I'm really so glad that we got to try them before they left us. Now, could these items ever return? Possibly. If you are heartbroken, maybe shout out to Walt Disney World that you want them back, along with a new technologically updated version of the original Figment ride, an Imagination Pavilion, and how Disney should totally sponsor One Little Spice. Okay, that last one was a little bit self-serving, so let's at least stick to the vegetable curry pods and restoring the Figment ride and the Imagination Pavilion for now. Do it for the children!
But, Julie's Rogue Report, Disney Parks has a recipe for the Pongu Lumpia. So clearly we're making that.
Clearly.
10 spring roll wrappers, 8 ounces an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature, 2 cups diced fresh pineapple, half cup sugar divided. Oil for frying. Easy peasy.
Yep. We'll still make it.
We are definitely making them.
Yep.
Do it for the children named Julie and Amy. And now we are going to talk about breakfast at Be Our Guest. Have we talked about anything else at Be Our Guest yet?
I don't think so.
Cool. Atmosphere. Be Our Guest is amazing.
Yes.
So, first of all, even just walking over the bridge to it is awesome. There are gargoyle lamps. We got to stare at them and ogle over them for 50 minutes in the pouring rain the first time we ate there. Off in the distance, on the hill, you can see a tiny version of the Beast's Castle.
What are you talking about? It's the Beast Castle. It's real and it's full size. It's just far away. It's called Forest Perspective, Julie. Also, you check in on the Fantasyland side of the bridge.
Yes, you check in before you get there. It's part of the experience. One time when we ate there, it was during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and the girl had a glow-in-the-dark name tag. But I suppose we'll talk about that when we talk about dinner. That doesn't exist. That could be another thing that doesn't exist.
Yep.
Well, we have two now. What else doesn't exist?
We'll find some stuff. Don't you wait. Don't you worry.
Don't you wait, Julie. I don't even know where else we've had breakfast because you don't like to eat breakfast. Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Tie our napkin round your neck, chérie, and we provide the rest.
I was totally going to be like, okay, let's do this, but...
Soup du jour, hot hors d'oeuvres. I don't know if those are lyrics.
I was going to be like, okay, Julie, let's actually do this. I was like, no, this song is on topic. This is fine.
Yeah, thanks. It's literally what the restaurant is named after.
Shall we say what Disney says about them?
Oh, yeah, I guess we should do that before we talk about the atmosphere. Because we haven't really talked about the atmosphere. I talked about the going into it. So this is what Disney says about Be Our Guest. Dine in palatial splendor. Feast on French-inspired fare in one of our elaborate themed rooms, straight out of the beloved Disney classic. Be Our Guest offers 3 meticulously imagineered dining areas, each designed to immerse our guests in the heartwarming mystery and romance of Beauty and the Beast. The Grand Ballroom. Go for Baroque in this magnificent ballroom with its high domed ceiling, chandeliers, and snow-laced Gothic arches. And I always say, if it isn't Baroque, don't fix it. The West Wing. Dine in the Beast's mysterious West Wing study, if you dare, and perhaps you'll even spy his enchanted rose. The Castle Gallery. Get swept up in the romance of Belle's private library and inspired by the larger-than-life figures of Belle and the Beast who don't dance anymore. Of Belle and Beast dancing. Each room is exquisite, but which best befits your royal visit? All 3 venues share the same menu, so whichever you choose, you cannot lose. So now to talk about the atmosphere. There are 3 different rooms. And we talk about breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. So for breakfast, we are going to start in the library. We have had breakfast in all 3 rooms.
Yes, we have.
We have also had lunch in all 3 rooms. No, we haven't. That's a lie. So the first room is Belle's library. Do you know what Belle's library doesn't have? Books.
It doesn't even have pictures of books. Well, I think she's reading a book in one of the pictures.
She's reading a book in one of the pictures.
But you know what I meant by pictures of books.
So this room is really fun because there are portraits on the wall of different scenes from the movie.
Even
But it's more like a
implied.
parlor, not a library. Have you ever seen Beauty and the Beast? Have you ever seen that library? This room should have literally been 3 stories high with books on books on books on books on books going to the ceiling. Fake books. Draw pictures of books on a wall to make it look like a library. I don't care. When I walk into this library, I want it to be the library.
So I think when they built Be Our Guest, they focused mainly on the main ballroom and the West Wing because, and we'll talk about it later, but because when they serve dinner, they use the library as like a staging area. Like they don't use the library. Or at least they originally did not seat you in the library for dinner. My thought is that because they didn't originally have breakfast either.
No.
They didn't originally have breakfast. They had lunch and dinner. So my thought is they originally were focused on dinner and then realized, hey, we could do some sort of restaurant lunch situation, but we're going to need more seating. So then they planned the third room.
So I thought they started with lunch.
No, they started when the restaurant opened. They started with lunch and dinner.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is when they were planning it, it's possible that they were more focused on dinner and then added on lunch, realizing that that was something they could do. Or either way, they determined they needed the extra seating at lunchtime, so they tacked on this extra room, called it the library, but, just kind of themed it up, but put a lot more work into the other two rooms, clearly. The Castle Gallery, swept up in the romance,
private library.
Yes, of Belle's private library.
So it's called the Castle Gallery, but they talk about how it's Belle's library, but it's not. It is a castle gallery because it's all the pictures of things, but I'm not swept up in any sort of romance of Belle's library in that room.
So I'm going to pretend that there's a set of doors in the back.
There should be.
And that is supposed to go to the actual library, and you are in the art gallery that often grand houses would have adjacent to
Have
a
you ever
library.
seen the movie? There's no gallery next to the library. It's a big, long hallway, and doors open into the library.
I'm trying to help you, Julie.
You're not helping. There aren't books.
So there's two other rooms, and we will talk about them in succession because we have to talk about lunch and dinner on two other podcasts because they're completely different meals, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this restaurant. They really do each warrant their own podcast discussion.
The first time we had breakfast, we did not eat in the library, but
We've decided to start there anyway.
because we have eaten breakfast in the library. We've eaten breakfast in all three rooms. So a lot of people complain that this breakfast is expensive. Amy and I have done it not on the Disney dining plan, but we always do it when it's on the Disney dining plan because it's definitely worth it on the dining plan because it's only 1 credit.
1 quick service credit.
Yes, it's a quick service credit. And there are a couple things on this breakfast menu, like the fruit plate, that I wouldn't say is worth $25, but it's delicious and you should eat there and it's wonderful.
Okay, so
At
they
least
use
definitely when you're on a dining plan because it's worth 1 quick service credit and that's way more expensive than most quick services cost.
Yeah. So each entree comes with a selection of pastries. Depending on how many people, depend on how many pastries you get. So if you sit down and there's 2 people, they're going to bring you like the full selection of pastries. But if you sit down and there's 8 people, they're going to bring you the full selection of pastries, but like for 8 people. Like, yeah, 2 or 3 trays. As we said, the adult price is $25 for any of the entrees. Now, Julie was saying they used to have a fruit plate. I wouldn't want to pay $25 for just a fruit plate. Now, that's no longer on the menu, but another example of that is they have a croissant donut or a cronut. Fried donut topped with banana caramel sauce, pastry cream, and chocolate ganache served with fresh fruit and the pastries. That, to me, also wouldn't be worth $25. But some of the other menu items are really good. And again, $25 might be a lot, but you're really, again, paying for the atmosphere and the whole pastry plate. Like, it's it's not a bad thing. It's just if you're normally paying like $6, $7, $8 for breakfast, and then you go get basically that same breakfast at Be Our Guest, unless you're there to see Be Our Guest, to be in the castle, it's not quite as worth it, so to say. But if you're on the dining plan, it is an excellent use of quick service credits. So, let us start on all the menu items. So the Feast a la Gaston is scrambled eggs, herb roasted potatoes, apple smoked bacon, and sausage served with fresh fruit, and it all of them end with, and a selection of pastries because it all comes with that.
So
now,
this is your like basic
your hungry man
breakfast.
Yeah, kind of like your hungry man breakfast, if that makes any sense.
So like the lumberjack.
Yes. Now, my favorite item is the assorted cured meats and cheeses.
A charcuterie plate.
Yes.
For breakfast.
For breakfast.
Yum.
For breakfast.
Meats and cheeses, right?
Yes. It is Alpine smoked ham, Serrano ham, sopressata, and cheese with marmalade, fresh fruit, and toasted baguette, and a selection of pastries. Now, the cheese is usually a little wheel, or wedge, I should say, of brie. And it's like your basic supermarket brie. It's nothing like super fancy.
Like a mild brie that it'll
Yeah.
appeal to everybody.
It's enjoyable. It's not bad. It's not particularly footy,
It's good to pair with the other items, and everybody likes.
It's nice and filling, and you want to like grab a croissant from the pastry bag, and that bag from the pastry bag from the they just bring a bag of pastry and slop it on the table.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That would be. It's usually like a tray or a basket type situation. It's been both, and
it has been both, huh?
It has been both, yeah, and. It's a really good breakfast for me. For other people, it might be like, what's going on? Now...
And it is a decent amount of food, too. Like, it's not like your, like, minimal cheese plate that's more of like an appetizer. It is enough It is enough food to satisfy your breakfast craving.
Now, I've definitely got it 2 or 3 times, and I think even the one time I didn't get it when I got the other one we'll talk about it in a minute, depending on who actually puts your, plate together... will depend on how much food appears to be on the plate. It's always the same amount of food, but if they're like in a rush or you have someone who's new and they're not taking the time to like create the cheese and charcuterie plate for you, like plating it nicely, they might just kind of like slap a bunch of them down and it looks like there's not a lot of food on it because they're all kind of like compact. They're not, the meats aren't like folded, delicately or anything like that. So if it comes out and it's all like that, don't freak out. That is the amount that should be, you can ask if you're really concerned if it seems like there's nothing there, but it does look super underwhelming if you happen to get it that way. I've only gotten it that way once, and the rest of the time it was plated nicely and properly and beautiful, so don't freak out if it comes out a little strange looking, we'll say. But it's delicious, and I recommend it if you are a fan of charcuterie plates and cheese plates and all that.
It did look delicious.
It is. Now, they have an open-faced bacon and egg sandwich,
that does look delicious.
It does, yes. Poached eggs, applewood bacon, brie cheese, and arugula.
Anything with arugula is amazing. #arugula.
On a croissant served with fresh fruit and a selection of pastries. Now,
the selection of pastries that each of these comes with is the tray that Amy told you about at the beginning.
Yes, I need to stop saying that, but I just kind of like it.
It just rolls off the tongue.
It rolls off the tongue. Now, it has the fun little asterisk.
Just so people don't think they're getting, like, pastries and pastries.
Yes. It has a fun little asterisk indicating that this item may contain raw or undercooked ingredients, consuming raw, blah, 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 blah. So, every single time except for one, whenever I've gotten an egg, whether it's, like, a poached egg or something, because a lot of time when we go for lunch, there's a salad that has a poached egg.
Is always nice and runny.
Yeah. But I've only ever had it once be runny. I remember one time it was hard for you too. But most of the time I've gotten it, it's been not undercooked. Like the egg yolk has not been undercooked, or even like. And it's not like
super runny, but it's not cooked all the way.
Yeah,
like
but the thing with poached egg yolks, like supposedly soft egg yolks in Disney World, is a lot of times they accidentally overdo it. It's just how food prep works when you're cooking for that many people. It happens. So
some will be cooked perfectly, some will be overcooked.
Yeah, so
they'll never be undercooked.
They'll never be undercooked, but some of you have a hard yolk, so don't be super concerned about that. Now, Julie's favorite, I will let her talk about this one.
The Croque Madame. I get this every time, and it's absolutely amazing, and I love it so much. So it is an open-faced ham sandwich topped with a fried egg, Gruyere cheese, and bechamel, served with fresh fruit and a selection of pastries. Sorry, I had to say it because Amy did. But this is so delicious. The bread that is served on has this beautiful, crunchy, magical, flaky crust, and it's soft and wonderful and airy on the inside, and then there's the bechamel sauce, and then Gruyere cheese is drizzled over it, and then you get the egg and the ham.
It really is delicious.
Ugh, it's so yummy.
Julie gave me a bite of hers one time, and
it wasn't the first time.
It was not the first time, no. The second time, Julie gave me a bite of hers, and the third...
you just got it the second time.
No,
the third time we ate in the middle room. Yeah. The second time we ate in...
Well, anyways, one of the times Julie gave me a bite, and it was so good that the next time I went,
Maybe
I was
did let you try it the first time.
Yeah, you usually do.
Yeah, because I wanted some of your cheese.
Exactly.
Your charcuterie
yeah.
plate.
So Julie, one time, I think it was the first time, let me try it, and it was so delicious that I actually got the Croque Madame the next time we went. Now, I've gone back to the charcuterie and cheese plate because...
But you just had to have it once.
Because I was like, I had to have it once. It was that good. I love my cheese and meats, so I go back to that, but it was so good. They also have a scrambled egg whites, which is scrambled egg whites, roasted tomatoes, apple chicken sausage, fresh fruit, and a selection of pastries. So that's kind of your like lighter option. They have a vegetable quiche, which is mushroom, zucchini, bell pepper, onion, and chive quiche, served with fresh fruit and a selection of pastries. Now, I have not had the breakfast vegetable quiche. I have had, at least when they first opened, the lunch vegetable quiche. Or no, I think Amanda had the lunch. One of us had the vegetable quiche. We all tried everything. It was a little underseasoned. So keep that in mind. Like, it doesn't have cheese in it because they use it as like a vegan vegetarian option. So if you're used to a cheesy quiche, remember that this one will not have cheese in it. So that's a flavor element that the delicious salty cheese is removed from this particular thing. But it was well cooked. Like, it was cooked properly. It wasn't like rubbery or anything like that. It was very, very tasty otherwise. It was missing that salty cheesiness. We talked about briefly the croissant donut. It's again fried donut topped with banana caramel sauce, pastry cream, and chocolate ganache with fresh fruit and a selection of pastries. Now, for the kids' meals, which is really exciting because they actually have an item on the kids' meals that they don't have on the adult entrees: crepes. Stuffed with yogurt, fresh berries, and wild berry foam with a selection of pastries. Oatmeal, which is a steel-cut oatmeal served with golden raisins, brown sugar, and a selection of pastries, which is awesome because steel-cut oatmeal is
Steel-cut oatmeal is so delicious.
Yeah, it's way tastier,
and healthier.
more delicious, healthier than like a rolled oat. French toast, which was brioche bread served with fresh fruit and a selection of pastries, and I guess technically that wasn't on the adult menu either, but And then they have scrambled eggs, which is regular scrambled eggs served with applewood bacon, fresh fruit, and a selection of pastries. They also have cereal with fruit as an option, which is cereal, milk, and fresh fruit, and a selection of pastries. Now, we'll go over beverages really quick, but you can get the Master's Cupcake or the Gray Stuff Cupcake at breakfast. Now, it's on the online menu, and when you go to order, you can order it.
This was the first time we enjoyed the gray stuff?
Yes.
No. We got it at lunch.
We had it at lunch, yeah.
Never mind.
So now when you go, they give you, because for the quick service, they do give you like a hard paper menu to like look at in line and whatnot to try to pick out what you want. It is not listed on those menus, but you can get it. And if you are pre-ordering online, which we'll talk about after we finish talking about the menu, you can also order it there as well. But it's not, you can just ask for it if you're there ordering live, so to say, and you don't see it on the menu, just ask for it, they'll have it for you. Now, with breakfast, you can get your Sylvanir Castle Goblet, which is a light-off castle-themed Sylvanir Goblet with choice of fountain beverage, and the Be Our Guest Cup with choice of fountain beverage. This is a fun thing I sometimes will get. Mickey Straw, randomly. The only restaurant I know of that you can just be like, yeah, I want a Mickey Straw, 69 cents, right here. Dasani bottled water, Smart Water, Perrier water. Fountain beverages, hot beverages include coffee, tea, and hot cocoa. They have milk. They have chocolate milk. Lots of options for breakfast. Let's see. Now, as we were talking about ordering, so at lunch and breakfast, you can, you have to have reservations for lunch or breakfast or dinner.
Yes.
So
you definitely cannot walk up to this restaurant and get a reservation.
You just can't. Like, it's possible on, like, your luckiest day ever, you'll walk up and be like, hey, is there a table? And they might be like, oh, yeah. But it's not, like, something that's going to happen.
And, like, these are probably some of the first reservations.
Yes.
That go away when you hit your 180 days.
Yes. So at your 180 days, you want to make your reservation. Now, if you miss it, you just have to keep checking like a crazy person until until someone cancels a reservation and you can pick up the reservation. But for 180 days, they're fairly early they go out. Now, I believe it is 30 days before your reservation, up to 30 days before your reservation, you can go online and pre-order your menu items. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't know, I want to decide what to have when I get there. All you have to do is you're not paying for anything until you get there, is pre-order something. And then you are put in the pre-order line, which is a lot, you get seated and served a lot faster than if you just wait to order when you get there. Now, you can put anything you want on your pre-order and completely change your mind.
Completely.
Like, if you're just like, I don't know what I want, I'm going to pick the Gaston feast. There's like 8 people in my party, but, you know, who cares? I'm just going to pick it so it gets me in the line. Do that. And then when you get there, say, you know, oh, or just pick it 8 times or however many it is. And we changed our mind completely. They'll say, okay, what would you like? And either they'll change it, or if it's really literally and nothing, you know, completely different, they'll just clear it all out and you'll order right there and you'll be good to go. So we highly recommend that if you to definitely make sure you make your reservations and pre-order ahead of time just to get in faster.
They don't make you pay.
Yeah, you're not paying for anything until you get there. It's not prepay. It's just speeds up the process for them. Because I imagine most people when they go there, they'll actually think, oh, this is what I want, when they look at the menu and order it and get it. And then some people will just completely change what they want. I usually end up getting basically exactly what I plan to order when I put it in there, but sometimes I'll change it up. It's, you know, they're not like upset or going like, okay, I guess we can change it. They're like, okay, great, thanks. And so let's go over. This is what you wanted? Oh, yeah? Okay, perfect. So here's your rose, or here's your scan your magic band, and then you go sit down, and they find you. They're going to find you, Julie. So it's
really cool.
Yeah, it actually is really
like
cool.
a rose.
So originally...
I know you already said that, but like it's shaped like a rose. That's the coolest thing ever.
So originally
it was shaped like a rose, and now it's just your magic band.
Well, yes, I'm trying to get to that. So originally...
Why can't I say words, Amy?
You just can't. Originally, when they opened, it was pre-Magic Bands. They were actually, I think, doing like Magic Band tests, but it was before they were fully rolled out. So you were given a either yellow or red rose, and it was like one of those little
They had the original magic bands, but they weren't like GPS-y. Yes, because in 2013 I had that was 2013 after I went with you. In 2013 in the fall they had magic bands.
Yeah, when we went, they were at the end stages of testing magic bands. When it was actually rolled out like right when you left when I went was like when they first actually started like giving them to a lot of people. But when we went,
because even my first magic band has my name on it, so I got that before we got there. But even once they rolled out magic bands, they still weren't GPS-y.
No, yeah, they weren't initially. They were just RDF chips. But yeah, so I
keep forgetting that I was like, it was in 2013, but they were 2 different 2013 trips.
But yeah, so originally it was the rose, and if you don't have a magic band, they will give you the rose. If you do have a magic band, the new ones that have, that are able to track a little bit better than the original ones, they will, just have you scan your magic band, then you go sit down. Your magic band or your little rose tells them where you are, and because you're sitting at a table, tells them where they are. They will sometimes see you'll sometimes see servers kind of looking around, and it's sort of clear that wherever the family or the seating party originally stopped, maybe they got up and moved to a different location. So kind of keep an eye out while you're sitting at your table waiting for your food, especially if you've moved around a little bit, for someone who appears to have all the food in their food cart that your party has ordered. But then they deliver it to you at your table. It comes on regular, like, china plates, like, not, like, super fancy or anything, just, like, regular restaurant plates, but, like ceramic. White ceramic plates. And you have real knives and forks. For lunch and dinner, you go pick up, for the most part, your own knives and forks and spoons and napkins and bring them back to your table when you're getting your beverages and all that.
Breakfast and lunch.
Did I say lunch, dinner? Yep. Okay, breakfast and lunch, I'm sorry. And I believe there was a brief time for about a couple of months when they were doing something to the kitchens that, like a refurbishment for the kitchens. I believe it was in preparation for the new dinner service, that at the least lunch, I'm not sure about breakfast, but lunch switched over to regular paper plates and bowls and whatnot that you get at the normal quick service restaurants. They still had the, real silverware, I believe, and whatnot, but, that was just a change. But I believe it's changed back because people were like, no, we like our plates, please bring them back. So yeah, you get your stuff, you sit down, they bring you your food. Now, if you ordered a dessert, gray stuffed cupcake, they're going to bring that to you too. Now, on the breakfast menu, that really is literally the only
dessert option.
Be Our Guest cupcake is not included in that $25 or $14 entree fee per entree. It's all like sort of a flat fee for your entree. So just keep that in mind that you are going to pay a little bit extra, but it's worth it, and you get to have a cupcake for breakfast, so how cool is that?
Yeah, so this is a really great breakfast. It's one of my favorites. I really look forward to it. I love the Croque Madame. You have the 3 rooms to sit in. It's a really fun experience. It's great because it's sit down, but it's a good way to start the morning because you sit, you don't have to worry about carrying your own food to the table. It's really a fun experience.
It is one of the first restaurants where Disney tried the quick service that they bring food to, that you don't.
Yeah, because now they're
collect it
doing it at the ABC commissary as well that we talked about in the beginning.
and they slowly seem to be rolling that out during dining times and restaurants where it seems appropriate for that to be an option, not just like grab it and sit down.
Again, overall, we super love this restaurant. You will hear as we talk about lunch and dinner how much we love this restaurant. Overall, great experience. Breakfast is yummy.
So now, if you are the type of person to like super schedule out your day and say, okay, we're going to take, half hour or 45 minutes or whatever you feel your family is going to take the time, how long it's going to take your family to eat, give yourself an extra 15 minutes. Because, obviously in general, it gives you a little extra breathing room, but you are going to want to, and you should,
walk around and
walk around. When you're finished eating, take the time, look around the room you're in. Now, go to the other room that you're not in, and take your time, and look
interrupt
around.
the people that are eating.
Yeah, don't interrupt, but walk around.
Everybody does it.
Yeah, while you're eating, you're going to just see people walking around, staring up, mouth agape, being like, because it is really, really exciting.
It is an awesome,
check out all the
awesome
rooms.
restaurant.
And, if you ordered your food ahead of time and they sent you through the fast pre-ordered line, on your way out, kind of poke your head into the other area, which is the, what do they call it? Because that's where Beast meets in the...
I have no idea.
It's like the Beast's fireplace room is the best way to explain it. But where they're having people order, even if you just stick your head into the doorway and kind of look around, no one's gonna be angry unless you're trying to get cut in line, basically.
And you've already ate, so
you're already ate. You should be like, oh, I just wanted to see this room, and the cast members are probably gonna be like, oh yeah, it's really nice. Check that out over there, because there's always these little.
They
tiny
have
details.
lyrics of "Be Our Guest" in French on the screens. I don't know if they have that because you have to order on those screens.
There's usually 1 or 2 screens that are not active. Usually they're like extra in case they need extra capacity, or if another screen breaks down, like they built in the extra capacity. When they're not being used,
it has the sheet music for "Be Our Guest" with the lyrics in French, and it's amazing.
it's really very nice. We'll touch on this room again when we talk about dinner.
So this week's fan favorite food comes from Megan Campbell. It is conveniently about "Be Our Guest," but they went for lunch. Megan says, on our last trip to Be Our Guest, we were sitting enjoying lunch. The braised beef was fantastic, and we got a little pixie dust for our daughter Donna. A great cast member was walking around with her Beast plushie and told us Beast wanted to give Donna a special fast pass to see Ariel. Meeting Ariel made Donna's day. I love Disney magic.
I do too.
So Beast plushie saying that he wanted her to have some Disney magic.
Know, it's so
That's
nice.
so awesome.
So for those of you who may not have been to Disney yet, maybe you're planning your trip and that's why you're listening, or you just really like food and Disney. Cast members are encouraged to make magic. Like if they see a moment where they're like, wow, I can make this person's day. It is in my power to make some magic for this person. They'll go ahead and do it. And obviously, it's nice to be on the receiving end of that magic, but I feel like Julie and I almost enjoy it more, like, getting to watch the magic happen for someone else.
And being one who, like, we're very good at, like, giving Disney magic, too.
Yeah.
Like, not the same way that, like, a cast member can give away a free fast pass
No,
or something.
yeah.
But if someone is, like, trying to have a picture taken, I'll, like, ask if I could if they want me to take their picture and get some really cool shots. Or, we help tell them where things are and give them, like, tips and tricks while we're there. And if, there was one time, we were in the Polynesian, and we met this family, and I took a picture because the father had a shirt from the Kennedy Space Center.
Yes.
And it was really cool. So I was like, oh my God, I need to take a picture of your shirt. And then we just got to talking to them. We're actually friends on Facebook now. But their daughter was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this your first time to Disney? And none of them had pins. So we were inside the Polynesian. So we took them to the front desk of the Polynesian, and we got her.
We're like, no, come with us. Just it'll take 2 minutes. Come with us.
It was her birthday. It was their first visit. So we got birthday pins. We got them their first visit pins. We also gave them the tip to put the tape over their name so it doesn't wear off with sunscreen and everything. And, you know, we chatted with them, gave them some other tips. We took pictures of them for them, and they were super appreciative of that. So it was our way of, like, helping bring some Disney magic, because especially when you have that first visit pin on, you get a lot of Disney magic.
Yes, yeah. And they were just checking in. It was the beginning of their vacation, so maybe they had it, if they had like a rough trip up or a rough trip down, depending on where they were coming from. I don't know. You know, that kind of broke them into the Disney magic. The Disney, you know, the way of feeling, you know. But yeah, when even if you're just like sitting around or you're, you know, walking around chilling, whatever you're doing, kind of keep an ear out or keep an eye out to see people making Disney magic, whether it's cast members or otherwise. It's just fun to watch. It's fun to see the joy on the people's faces. And like the number one rule I always say is don't expect Disney magic, but, you know, be open to it. If a cast member comes over and starts talking to you, talk back. Don't be like, I'm too busy. I can't do this. I don't have time.
The best part of Disney magic is you're never expecting it.
Yeah. It's like, always say yes. If they have a question, be like, oh, are you guys having a good time? Yes. But like, oh.
That's how I got to be a Grand Marshal in the parade.
Yes. I am super jealous because I want
a guy
to be
came
one.
over and he didn't have his badge on yet, and he just started talking to us, and then he was like, oh, by the way, I work here, and you're going to be Grand Marshals. If you have a Disney food memory that you want to share with us, literally anything, a Disney snack, if you went to the water park and you got something awesome there.
Like those mini donuts.
If you've been to Disneyland in California, if you've been to Disneyland Paris or Tokyo or Shanghai or Hong Kong, we want to hear about it. Aulani in Hawaii, Disney Adventures, the Disney resort that Amy was talking about in North Carolina. Literally anything that has Disney's name on it. We want to hear about your Disney food memory. If it was just a snack that you loved, that was amazing, we want to hear about it all. Send your stories to onelittlespice@gmail.com or share it on our pinned Facebook post. It's right at the top. Social media. You can find us on Twitter at OneLittleSpice. On Instagram, we are at @1_little_spice. On Facebook, we are at OneLittleSpice as well. You can also join our Facebook group where we talk about even more Disney food and just basically Disney all the time. It's a great group. Join it. Love us. We love you. There are 3 questions to answer. We just want to learn more about our fans. We are on Patreon.
Yes, we are.
I am so excited about what we have going on Patreon right now. We have a 9-episode series about food and wine where we go in depth and talk about all the delicious food that they have at Food and Wine. Each episode, we single out 4 or 5 different booths and we go into detail and we talk about the foods and the wines that they have there, and we give you tips and awesome stuff about the Disney Food and Wine Festival, so when you go, you can enjoy it just as much as we do. That is one of the things that you can get by joining us on Patreon and becoming a patron. It's Magical Snack Corner. It's a small tier. It's our $5 tier.
Yes.
For Magical Snack Corner. And then you get Magical Snack Corner every 2 weeks. And it's amazing and it's wonderful. We also have some other really cool features. A Google Hangout with us where we can just talk about Disney food. Or Disney.
Or pretty much anything you want to
talk about. We're going to have a cheese plate. We encourage you to have a cheese plate. It'll be awesome. We're excited. And then there's some other cool little things. Hosting a Magical Snack Corner with us. A button pack. So head over to www.patreon.com/onelittlespice. Choose your support level. Join us there. It's awesome. We are so close to our first goal. Once we hit our first goal, we will be able to start our website. There, we'll be able to share Disney food pictures with you. We'll be able to share even more. We'll be able to hear from you. We have so many exciting ideas for this website that we want to share with you that's just going to add a whole extra level to our podcast. And we can't wait to get that out to you.
Yes.
By supporting us on Patreon, you help us get more Disney food content out to you. That's what we want to do. We want to get more to you. We're on TeePublic. The link is in the description. Click on it. Check out our t-shirts. We got baby onesies. We got phone cases. We got laptop cases. We have travel mugs. We've got everything. Check us out. TeePublic. Go there. It's awesome. Magnets. No tapestry. We are on YouTube. On YouTube, we are The Taste Lab. The Taste Lab, I mean, if you listen to this, the beginning of every episode, we are the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the Taste Lab. And we help you get there. We bring you into our Taste Lab. We cook food from Disney. We did Le Cellier's cheddar cheese soup. We did Akersos vegetable terrine. We got Morocco's 7 vegetable couscous. Coming up, we are doing the chopped Cobb salad. I'm hoping that that's going to be out today when you're listening to this episode. If it's not, I'm really sorry. But go to YouTube, search The Taste Lab, find us, bring some Disney magic into your kitchen. Share pictures with us. We want to see them. We want to see them all. We want to hear what you think of the recipes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do you know why? Because you're going to be the first ones to know when our newest videos are out. And then you'll get to learn how to make even more Disney food in your kitchen and bring some Disney magic home. Woo-hoo! Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice. What a fiasco. Oh.
That's some swell coffee. In honor of Mickey.
Really, really loud.
Imagination, a dream can be a dream come true.
We have our own lyrics too.
High five, that was good.